Hey guys, it's your girl Vanessa here. Welcome back to another video. Now, did you know that you can actually use Vaseline and vapor rub in your hair growth journey? Now, if you didn't, you definitely can, and I'm going to show you guys how you can do that in today's video. Now, this is not only going to help you keep the moisture in your hair, which in turn will help you prevent your hair from breaking and essentially seal length retention over time, but it can also help you get thicker, healthier looking hair. So if you're interested, please make sure you watch the video and you watch until the end, because I'll show you exactly how to make it and also how to use it towards the end of the video. Now, before you get into it, guys, I want to say a huge thank you. Thank you so much if you're a returning subscriber and you're constantly coming back to support my channel. I really do appreciate you. Thank you for watching, for liking, and also for taking the time to actually subscribe. So I appreciate that. If you're new here, please join the family by clicking that subscribe button. So let's get into the video. So you're going to need some vapor rub. Now this is all I had in the house, guys, okay, because I actually do not use vapor rub. So I only use it on the kids. Now if you've used this as a kid, or if you're still using it even in your adult age, comment down below, okay? I want to see you. Now vapor rub is one of those things that we've definitely grown up with, especially when we had a cold and we weren't feeling so well, or we had like a blocked nose or a chest infection. You know, mom used to rub it around our chest, and I carry the same thing with my kids, so I do use it on them as well when they're feeling unwell. Obviously, do make sure you seek medical advice if you have a child that is unwell. Don't just rely on vapor rub, okay, because it's not going to do the trick, especially if there's a chest infection going on, because you are actually going to need some antibiotics. I'm not a doctor, but make sure that you go to your doctor, okay? But yeah, vapor rub goes a long way at sort of like, you know, unblocking blocked nose, any kind of congestion. So that's all I had at home. But if you have the adult vapor rub, it's definitely better to use because it has more of a peppermint concentration compared to the children one. So I feel like the kids one is just a little bit milder because obviously they're smaller. And then I also added a bit of Vaseline. Now Vaseline again is one of those things that have been used on natural hair for such a long time, although there's actually no scientific evidence to show that vapor rub or Vaseline can stimulate hair growth. It can actually be used as hair grease, okay, so if you're one of those that actually use hair grease in your regimen, you can definitely make your own, and it is so amazing for your hair as well. Now I'm also gonna add a little bit of coffee. Now the one that I had was decaf, but if you have your coffee with the caffeine in it, that's even better because the caffeine is very useful at stimulating hair growth. So essentially I added the vapor rub and the Vaseline in a bowl, and I'm just doing the double boiler method just to melt the Vaseline and vapor rub. Now I added the coffee to this, so this is just instant coffee, and the idea was to melt the coffee in the oil, but that didn't work, as you're gonna see later on, because it kind of like got stuck to my spoon instead. So I decided to take it off the stove. I think it's because the oil was a bit too hot. So take it off the stove and mix it off of the stove. So you want to add the instant coffee in your mixture and just, you know, keep on stirring until it kind of dissolves. It's not going to dissolve perfectly, just because there's no water in this, okay? So coffee dissolves a lot better in water, but in this oil it's going to dissolve a little bit, so you might notice that your oil has like a slightly darker color, and that's fine. Even that little bit goes a long way. Now I'm going to add a little bit of avocado oil as well. To this avocado oil, on the other hand, is very good for your hair, guys. It has lots of vitamin E and also other amazing vitamins that are good for your scalp and can also help you to stimulate hair growth. So I added a little bit of that because I knew that once this cools down, it is going to be kind of like thick in consistency. So I wanted a slightly lighter consistency, and that's why I added the avocado oil. So I also went ahead, guys, and I added a little bit of MSM powder in it as well. So it's about a pinch of it. So you can completely leave this out if you haven't got it. It's perfectly okay. But if you have it, it's also very, very good for your hair, guys, because it can actually help you to stimulate hair growth and also prevent hair loss. So it's also actually very, very good for your hair, and there's actually evidence to suggest that it can help in promoting hair growth. So if you're using things like Vaseline and Vapor Rub, although there's no scientific evidence to show that it can help in sort of stimulating hair growth, although it can be used as hair grease and can help to lock that moisture in your hair. Combining it with other ingredients that are also very good at stimulating hair growth will be quite useful, like what we just done here, which is coffee and MSM powder. So I tried to melt it, but I noticed that it wasn't really melting because the oil was cooling down. So I popped it back on the stove and just stirred it a little bit just to give it that heat and see if the MSM could actually melt a little bit more. And I think it did. So I took that off the stove, let it cool down, and it became basically what's it called, hair grease, just like what I showed you guys earlier. So now I'm going ahead and just applying it on our hair. Now notice it's definitely hardened in texture, so when you want to apply it to your hair, make sure you rub it quite nicely in the palm of your hand to melt it before you go ahead and apply it to your hair. So I'm just applying it here on my edges. Please do a patch test just to make sure that you don't have an allergic reaction to the vapor rub on your scalp. Okay, it's very, very important. And then obviously if you're good to go, you're definitely good to apply this throughout your hair. So I'm focusing at the front of my hair at the moment, and then I'm also going to apply it throughout my hair. So as I'm applying, I'm also massaging, as you're noticing, but I'm going to go ahead and properly massage my scalp later on using a scalp massaging brush that I got off of I think I got it on Shein. And honestly, I've been loving that brush for a little while now. But anyway, I'm just again melting it in the palm of my hand, just like you're seeing, and I'm putting it on my scalp. Now, it does give you a little bit of a tingling sensation because of the vapor rub. If you've used vapor rub before on your chest or around your nose area because of congestion, you will definitely know what that sensation is like. It's like a very pepperminty kind of sensation. So it gives you a little bit of that on your scalp, and you will probably get more of that sensation if you use more of the vapor rub and less of the Vaseline and the avocado oil. So now I'm using my scalp massaging brush, and I'm just massaging my scalp with it really nicely. Scalp massages are great at increasing the blood flow to the scalp, which can help in stimulating hair growth. So if you're using this, you can use it as a hair grease. So perhaps if you're applying a leave-in conditioner, you can follow through with this just to seal the moisture in your hair. Or you can actually use it even as a pre-poo treatment if you want, because of its thickness. It is definitely going to keep your hair more moisturized after shampooing. So it's something that you can do on your hair before shampooing, and that can help you again prevent your hair from breaking, which in turn will help you retain length over time. Now, in terms of how often to use this, I would say maybe once or twice a week. It really depends on you, but I would say because of the fact that it is thicker in consistency, perhaps use less often because you're more likely to get build up from this. So perhaps once a week will be fine, and then you can repeat as and when you need to. So this brings us to the end of the video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed watching. Please thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.